There's been mud on my soul, there's been anger inside me, there's still unforgiven deeds that now it's time to free. I've been trapped inside so long, don't remember how to live, how much of life has passed me by as I slept inside my dreams. Oh yes, sip the waters too, let them wash all over you. Here you are at last, free yourself from past and walk into the new. Be guided by what's true, causing no one harm, least of all. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sat-Chit-Ananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram Sansarasaram Abhayankaram Dukhaharam Karunavataram Jyotirmayam Swayambhu Prakritistudaram Shivasmarami Jagat Swami Nirvikaram.
Om Shanti. There are three types of seekers. The first is someone who seeks the truth. There are others who seek virtue, and there are others who seek beauty. The people of higher spiritual caliber become the seeker of truth. Satyam. They become mystics. They never compose any poetries. They never sing any song. They never paint any picture. They never sing any song. They don't create any statue. They just seek the truth and nothing but the truth. Their joy is in experience, not in expression. The second category seek virtue, goodness, goodwill. They are benevolent. Shivam. They become saints or great men. Social workers. They help the society. But somehow they miss the enlightenment. The seeker of truth goes towards enlightenment. And there is third category, the seeker of beauty. They are dancers who dance. They are singers who sing. They are poets who compose poetries. They are painters who paint. They are sculptors who create beautiful statues. And the more they go into search of beauty, the more they realize that the expression is difficult. Because gradually they get rid of lower consciousness and they enter into some higher consciousness. And in that state of higher consciousness, they realize that The ultimate beauty is far away. The ultimate beauty is inexpressible. It is indescribable. It's very difficult to paint the ultimate picture. It's very difficult to sing the final song. So they don't go towards enlightenment. In fact, most of the singers, painters, or seekers of beauty end up with frustration because they find it very difficult, because world cannot understand them. They are very different people, the real singers, because then they realize that we can't sing for the world to garner the praise of the world. Their songs are for describing the ultimate beauty, which is far more indescribable. They seek hard, they search hard, but somehow they get frustrated. And then they decide to end their lives. That's why you must have seen that many painters, dancers, musicians, the real musicians, they remain far away from this world. And some day they kill themselves. People call them madmen. They are really insane. So these are the three types of seekers in the world. The seeker of Satyam, the seeker of Shivam, and seeker of Sundaram. But there is yet another dimension to it. The one who seeks truth, Satya, ultimately comes towards beauty. He doesn't seek beauty. His goal is not beauty, but he becomes beautiful automatically. And that is real enlightenment. If you just seek Shivam, you may miss things. If you are just after beauty, you may end up with fashion shows and external beauty. So there is a huge difference. And external beauty is at times dangerous. A person is beautiful, and the real beauty is inner beauty, not the external beauty. So there are two types of beauties: inner beauty and external beauty. External beauty is physical beauty. Inner beauty is the growth of the consciousness. Inner beauty is the pristine, the original beauty. External beauty you get from your mother and father. It's a heritage, a physical heritage. Inner beauty is spiritual heritage. External beauty is superficial. Internal beauty is deep. External beauty is dependent on things. It's a very costly affair. You have to spend money. External beauty is perishable. Inner beauty has no expiry date. External beauty is perishable. How long you can live young? How can you stay young? How long? All the actors and actresses of yesteryears, how they look now. Time withers your beauty. So internal beauty is permanent. External beauty is temporary. It's fading. You are beautiful today and you don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. External beauty is dangerous. there is a great danger. Internal beauty, there are no dangers. Rather, it is protective. Why external beauty is dangerous? Recently there was a Murli. Baba said, the thieves will be always after you if you wear a lot of ornaments. Good that you gave up all the ornaments. External beauty is dependent. Internal beauty is independent. External beauty lacks confidence. Internal beauty is always confident. External beauty cannot sustain relationships. Internal beauty can sustain relationships. So there is a great difference between internal beauty and external beauty. External beauty is just skin deep. That's it. But internal beauty is very deep. In external beauty, you are always in fear, in anxiety. There is an insecurity all the time. Internal beauty, there is no insecurity. You are relaxed. There is no fear. External beauty, you have to be extra cautious. You need mirror. External beauty is dependent upon other person's opinion. They will tell you that today you are looking good, you are looking beautiful, then you feel happy. And then somebody comes and says, oh, you are not looking. What is happening to you? Why are you so depressed? Something is missing, you are not. So, external beauty, they describe 16 ornaments, sola, shringar. In Indian culture, the bride has to fulfill 16 ornaments, 16 types of embellishments, without which the marriage remains incomplete. So bride has to decorate herself, or she gets decorated with these 16 ornaments. They correspond to 16 celestial degrees of moon. And they say that somewhere there is an impurity in a woman because of menstrual cycle and other things, and these decorations help us get rid of those impurities. So they embellish her, the bride, with all those 16 ornaments, where there is a bracelet, an armlet, and so many things. So it's a costly thing. And most importantly, a person who is beautiful from the surface, from the outside, need not be a beautiful person from within. A person who is beautiful can be an utterly ugly person, full of anger, full of irritation, full of ego, full of holier than thou attitude. A beautiful, cultured, civilized woman entered the flight, and she found that beside her seat there was an old man sitting, and he did not have hands, and she got irritated on seeing him. She called the air hostess and said, "Can you see another seat for me?" The air hostess humbly asked, "May I know the reason why?" The cultured, civilized, highly educated, beautiful woman said, "I cannot sit beside that man. He is so ugly. I don't like him. He does not even have hands." The air hostess said, the air hostess looked around, but she could not find any empty seat. She said, "I'll just go to the captain and inquire if I can get some seat for you." And the woman was thrilled. In some time, the air hostess returned back, and she said, "There is one seat in the business class, and our airline has taken this decision for the first time in its history to shift a passenger from economy class to business class. The woman was so happy. And she said to the old man, the air hostess said to the old man, "Can you please come with me, gentlemen? We will take you to the business class." And the woman kept seeing. And the air hostess said, "We don't want you to sit beside this uncultured lady." And the entire crew and all the passengers on board clapped. The old man said, "I am a retired army officer. And when I heard the argument of this lady, I was thinking, I lost my arms during the fight for this country. And I was thinking, these are the people for whom I fought. But I am now equally proud that people do understand the value. The so-called cultured woman felt all the more ashamed. The real beauty is within. Outside somebody can look beautiful. You can become Miss Universe, Miss India, Miss Aravali, Mr. Aravali, and yet you remain a deeply disappointed person, an highly egoistic person, a person with anxiety, a person with fear. That's why in this spiritual university established by God, the third subject is the subject of divine virtues, dharana. Dharana is something which is visible. Gyan can remain hidden. Yoga also can remain hidden. But dharana is the practical application of your yoga and your gyan. So the third subject is dharana, divine virtues. And inner beauty means you become an embodiment of divine virtues. So Sundaram is the ultimate flowering of the consciousness. The journey begins with truth. But if you just seek truth, only beauty, you may end up in extroversion. You may end up in seeking praise. You are a painter. The brush strokes are at your command. The picture obeys you. And you can draw, paint a beautiful painting, but then there is a desire of praise, of showing, and you are lost. Only when the journey begins with truth, you end up with inner beauty. Otherwise, if you just seek beauty, it will be a search for external beauty. So that's why this mystical trinity begins with Satyam. Be strongly rooted in Satya, in truth. Truth about yourself, truth about life, truth about existence, truth about God, truth about your divine relationships with God, truth about other souls. When you start seeking truth, you end up in becoming Sundar. In fact, the person whose inside becomes beautiful, automatically that inside radiance starts coming to the surface. Even the body of such person becomes beautiful gradually. The internal beauty cannot remain internal alone. It will explode. It will flood the outside being. That's why they say of Brahma that Baba used to be so prominent. He would be spotted from a distance. The internal virtue was so much that it started radiating, coming to the surface. The fragrance cannot remain within. There is a flower, a beautiful fragrant flower with that fresh aroma. It has blossomed outside the village. It has not invited villagers to come and see. But the beauty, but the fragrance is so enthralling. The beauty is so bewitching that it attracts. So the man who becomes beautiful internally starts becoming beautiful externally as well. Though he doesn't seek that, but he would become. But not necessary, and that is in fact not a criteria also. In India, there is a beautiful story about Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra was a very ugly person. Ashta means 8. He was bent at 8 places. This hand, that hand was longer, this leg was longer, his back was twisted, his face was twisted. He was a very ugly looking person. But he was intrinsically beautiful. Wherever he would go, people would laugh at him. That's why he stopped going anywhere. And he would sit in his home and inquire, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And this inquiry of truth, this inquiry of Satyam led towards Shivam, which ultimately led towards Sundaram. He became intrinsically beautiful. It is said that he entered the palace of Janaka. King Janak is known as Videhi, bodiless. He used to hold debates, philosophical debates, and he would invite people of high spiritual caliber, philosophers, logicians, theologians, spiritualists, traditionalists, spiritualists, all those people would come and they would have a very healthy debate. There was a man of high spiritual caliber, Yagyavalak. He was winner all the time in all the debates. So once there was a debate, Shastrarth, and there were 1,000 cows kept outside. The winner would win those cows, and every cow had a horn with gold studded. So Yagyavalak came and he saw these cows are there outside. The debate has yet not been started, but he was so confident that I am going to win. He told his disciple, take these cows to our ashram. Because who will win except me? I am the winner. Even Janaka could not do anything because he knew that this person always wins. He is so powerful, he is so intelligent, he is so spiritual. But at the same time, Ashtavakra entered the palace, the court, and everybody started laughing. But after some time, Ashtavakra also started laughing. King Janaka asked, I can understand that everybody laughed, but why you laughed? Ashtavakra said, I laughed because I thought this is the assembly of scholars. I thought this is the assembly of great men, but I see everybody is a shoemaker here. Janaka interrupted. Why you say that? Humbly said Ashtavakra, because everybody sees the skin and not the internal me. Janaka was so impressed and he said, this man is the winner. Yagyavalaka, you return all those cows now because he is the winner, because even Yagyavalaka laughed when he entered. And then there is a great spiritual debate or question and answer series. Janaka is asking Ashtavakra, Ashtavakra is answering. That's known as Ashtavakra Gita. That's a highly philosophical text. So the real beauty is internal. Search internal beauty. Decorate yourself with virtues, divine virtues. And what is the method to become spiritually beautiful or to imbibe spiritual beauty? How do we imbibe virtues? First, know. So many murlis we must have heard. Make a list of virtues. Think of those virtues. Churn those virtues. For example, sweetness, discipline, bliss, accuracy, benevolence, purity. You can take any virtue and churn it. Discuss about it. There's one more virtue, blissipline. Blissipline. It's a combination of bliss and discipline. So they have made it a one word, blissipline. Blissipline. So a life of discipline and bliss together. Blissipline. So you can play with virtues. Virtues are jewels. You play with them. You churn them. You think of them. You immerse them in your yoga. Have commentaries on them. And gradually try to ingrain them in your personality. Start seeing virtues. Baba often says, don't see defects in others. See virtues, because there cannot be a single child of mine who is without a virtue, who is without a divine virtue. Everyone is filled with some or other virtue. You know, wife of Brahma Baba, Jashoda, she was an ordinary lady who used to do household chores, uneducated. And when there was a distribution of duties, she was asked what duty you will take, and she said, I take the duty of washing utensils, cleaning floor. So she was asked, why so? And she gave a very pertinent answer, which was very powerful. She said, there is always a risk of becoming egoistic because I am the wife of the founder of this institution. I can become egoistic. I can have body consciousness. That's why let me take this job, the menial job of cleaning utensils, washing clothes. That will keep me humble. So humility is the virtue. So seek virtues. There's a Muslim woman who had come in some conference here in Gyan Sarovar for 3 days. Nobody taught her, eat this or eat that. She was a non-vegetarian. Nobody taught her. Here in the conference was going on smoothly for 3 days. She went home, opened the fridge, and there was a non-veg in the fridge. And she felt utter disgust. Absolute dislike. He took that and threw it away. And she became non-vegetarian from that day itself. Though in the conference nobody talked about food. In the conference nobody talked about eat this or eat that. But the effect of purity was so much that she got transformed. There is yet another man who was watching some television program or reading some newspaper. In that, there was a quote by Brahma Kumaris, slogans or quote. And in that it was written that whenever you meet a man, in your mind say, I love you too much. So he said, let me use this. And he had an interview. And his boss, who was about to come to take his interview, was very strict. Because always the interviewer has the aim of failing the candidate. To make them realize that they don't know things. That is the goal of all the interviewers. So this man woke up in the morning and emerged that personality. He took out his photograph from internet and all the details, that the one who is going to take his viva. He was a medical guy. This is a BMS doctor who is writing this experience. So this BMS doctor, he took out all the information, his photo, and morning he emerged him and saying, I love you too much. I love you too much. I love you too much. And when he entered inside, he sat for the interview. And he kept on saying, I love you too much. I love you too much. Gradually, whatever he asked, he started answering so well. And then he did not ask a single thing which he did not know, the person. And ultimately he cleared. So this is how he came in Gyan. He said, this knowledge seems very miraculous. And then he searched the center and went there and did the course and so on. So how it changes. So it is all about that developing internal beauty. So Sundaram is the result. So seek beauty, the ultimate beauty, the highest beauty, the pure beauty, the spiritual beauty, the non-physical beauty, the platonic beauty, the non-material beauty, the invisible beauty, the beauty of beauty is Sundaram. Om Shanti.